Well, hello there. In today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about self-esteem, self-confidence, and the likes. And why? Because I see that so many people now, due to the situation that unfolded since March 2020, that so many people have really taken a beating. They feel down on themselves. They go to the highs and lows very quickly, and it's a very much of an emotional roller coaster. And I'm here to say there's different ways that you can also go about it. And specifically, as you are first becoming more aware of where you're at, and even where you might even measure where you're at compared to other people, and then actually also identify very simple and easy to implement activities that you can engage in to boost your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and your self-recognition overall. Well, guess what? The world is going to be a different place. And so you have the tools to empower yourself. You have a way to develop yourself and be successful nonetheless, regardless of the circumstances. So on this particular slide, you see that self-recognition is really the big bucket that we call this thing about, self-esteem, self-confidence, and the likes. And so we want to really look at the 5 different elements first to give you the big picture. And then we're going to dive into one particular one that is a self-appreciation, acceptance, and confidence. Now, let's just say that you would have measured where you're at. And your score looks as follows. You see there, the red, the purple, the yellow, the green, and the blue, and they all give you a rating between low, medium, and high. And if you now go into the middle one, which is the one over there, the self-appreciation one in yellow, you see that your score would be 40%, which is in the medium class. Now, what does it exactly mean? Self-appreciation, acceptance, and confidence is really about the development of self-esteem. It's also having personal worth and value, knowing that you are good, whether you have a job or not, whether you are, being paid a normal wage or you're on Centrelink. It's just finding ways to build your personal worth and value. And I can say it won't go any other way, because you first have to have it before the outside world will start changing for the better. Next thing is coming to grips with personal attributes. Hey, I'm not a perfect person. Hey, I've got my, my own intricalities and things that, I want to work on. And that's the fact is, we can still take off and say that I'm still happy and confident and comfortable within my own skin and within my own situation. And I also know that where I'm headed is going to be different than where I'm at today. And it's important about being positive about where you're headed, and that you're also grateful for where you are at right now. Next one is recognizing personal strengths, weaknesses, and limitations. Again, it's about being realistic with ourselves. Last but not least, it's about operating with realistic self-assurance. And that obviously, again, it takes some certain practices and habits to actually get you there, so that you can be realistic with how you look at yourself, and that you actually can be okay with yourself. We saw earlier that the score in this particular situation was 40%, and you may experience at times some self-doubt, which limits your possibilities. And success at the highest level requires boldness. And so it's really important that, especially when you sometimes feel a little bit down on yourself, or that when you don't really feel as confident about your abilities, is that you take actions that will get you into a better space first and foremost. And so it's boldness, it's activity, not passivity. It's about creation rather than waiting. The next thing is, negativity and questions happen when losses are magnified and victories are minimized. And so action creates higher self-assurance. So again, let's just imagine that you would be, that part of the reasons why your self-appreciation is rather low is that you struggle with your self-concept because of the body you're in. You've put too much weight on. We call it the COVID kilos and all that sort of stuff. And guess what? It's kind of really pushing yourself down a little bit. Guess what? If you now just take the action of signing up for a gym and then go, set yourself a schedule, and you stick to your schedule and do it every day, because you are taking meaningful action that will help you to improve the outcome, and you actually are doing the things that you set yourself, every single time you're reinforcing a success mechanism in your brain. Next one is cultivate internal and external environments that encourage and support you. Especially when you're already feeling not too great about yourself, it's important that you surround yourself with the people that actually are lifting you up. People that are building you, not taking away from you. It's people that are actually whispering positivity in your ears, not the ones that gossip behind your back and stab you. So it's super important that at your work, where you spend a lot of time, and in your home environment or your circles of friends, that you are very selective in terms of who you spend your time with, who you hang out with, who you are listening to, and who you are learning from and with. Make sure that you got the right people on your team, so to speak, and look to facilitate success. Again, it's about your intention first before it will happen on the outside. And last but not least, inaction, procrastination, doubt, and perfectionism are the big opponents of top level winning. It doesn't matter where you come from. What matters really is where you're going, where you're headed. And that is a conscious choice. So in a nutshell, I really want to give you, let's say, a big sort of pat on the back to do what it takes, and knowing that you have all the tools within you to be successful. So go out and crush it. My name is Bram, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.